Y'all know which rappers don't have a feature together? Drake and Kevin Gates. Now, you might be like, damn, that's true. Why Drake and Kevin Gates don't have a feature? When Drake was handing out features and blowing people's career up and stuff, you would have think maybe even Kevin Gates and him team would have tried to put something together or something, get that Drake stimulus package. Even though Kevin Gates, he was a superstar, he didn't necessarily need it. But you would have think, when Gates was trying to get signed to Young Money and all of this stuff with Birdman and stuff like that too, they would have linked up and just got the feature. And then when you really listen to Kevin Gates, even from like Kevin Gates' first stuff, nobody could touch Gates. Like beat selection wise, he ran every beat. Like Kevin Gates got some beats that suck, and yet he still, made the track fire. Gates freestyles, everything. I'm gonna say this. Newer Gates still run stuff, but it's not like that first Gates when he first came out. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Everybody loved, the early 2000s and down Michael Jackson. Like, same thing. But you don't have a Drake and Kevin Gates feature, and you're like, why? And I honestly think we know talks definitely came up. You can't tell me for 10 years from 2010 to 2020, that's 10 years, 2010 to 2020. You can't tell me Drake and Kevin Gates didn't link once or at least talked about it. I mean, Chris Brown and Drake got a song, and at one point they did not like each other. Hell, Young Thug and Lil Wayne got a song together, and there was never no beef between Drake and Kevin Gates. Hell, Boosie and Kevin Gates got a song, even though that was way early. But man, like Kevin Gates and YoungBoy got a song, and they seem to have beef and issues and all that. So I honestly think it's because if Drake did a song with Kevin Gates, Kevin Gates would outshine Drake. I mean, if Kevin Gates put his heart into it, man, Kevin Gates would outshine Drake 1,000,000-1. 1,000,000-1. A lot of people don't know this, but Kevin Gates, he got his master's in psychology. So does Lil Wayne and Birdman. But the way Gates deliver it, I mean, just go listen to Pouring the Syrup. There's no rapper that could do that. The imagery, the way it's delivered, that's top tier, and that's not Kevin Gates with like a major like when people putting like millions of dollars behind your project, that's not Kevin Gates. Never had that. Even all of Gates mixtapes. I mean, Gates really, and this is every rapper kind of. Even Drake is hitting this right now. Drake released 3 albums. Every single last one of them albums was mid or underwhelming. Like, same thing with Gates. I mean, it's just the older, you get, you know, your music not that same raw. It's not that passion. Like, man, I gotta get it, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, it's the like Jim Jones effect. Okay, Jim Jones, you like 50, but you still rapping like a YN. You know, he getting laughed at. But Kevin Gates is a totally different person from the 2010, 2011 Gates to now. And Gates still running it. Like, he's still running it. You know, if Gates was a 10 out of 10 when he first came out, Gates only like about a 8.5 or 8 in rap skills, you know, now. So he ain't never lost it. Drake, on the other hand, I think Drake did get a little better. He switched up his image, you know, some more. But, you know, still, if they got on a song together and they all into the song to try to, you know, come harder or something like that. I mean, Gates don't need the feature, but Gates would dog walk Drake. I'm sorry. Honestly, Drake and Wayne, it's, you know, Wayne is good. Perfect. Like, Wayne was the number. I still kind of think Wayne is number one, but bruh, look at Gates' like first 3 mixtapes. Lil Wayne just cannot come that hard. You know, it's like, I always say this, Michi Baby with NBA Youngboy, he's super raw with his imagery and stuff, but he don't have that intelligence like Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is like that raw, you know, I really lived it, you know, went through a lot of stuff, and, you know, like he said, in prison, jail and all that, it helped him, and he just learned. And then he took that, boom, rapping. You know, that's Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is like, I don't want to compare Kevin Gates to Tupac, but it's kind of like Tupac, except if it was the opposite way around, kind of. You know, it's really hard to compare. And I mean, like, you still got Boosie, Webby, you know, all of them. I mean, I think Webby could make a hit song in his sleep. You know, he could come up with the hooks and all of that, but it's just a way, an intelligent way that Kevin Gates puts all his stuff together. You know, even the song, like Kevin Gates said, when he was first rapping and just wasn't, not necessarily taking it serious, but he was just going in there having fun, saying anything, and would come out with a hit. Like, Kevin Gates, like, got like a couple songs you could tell he just playing around, and, you know, it's a hit. It's a hit. Now, is it a radio necessarily hit that they could just run non-stop? I'm gonna say he ain't got too many of them. Kind of like Boosie, they ain't got them radio hits that could just spin, you know, all day 24/7. That's Drake. That's what Drake could do. Drake could give you that. But as far as we just talking about lyrics and not just popularity, Kevin Gates, bruh, is top 3 for sure. Kevin Gates gotta be in your top 5. If we talking about rappers, you could go back to the 80s if y'all want, bring them old school rappers. If you want to bring Jay-Z, you want to bring Biggie and all that, bruh, Kevin Gates eats all of them. And that's why I think the step up from, you know, Drake to Kevin Gates, You know, on Drake's best day, he can't touch, early Kevin Gates. Not at all. Right now, that gap ain't that far if they drop something right now, but I still think if Gates, just turn up, Drake will get outshined. Drake, the real thing is, Drake most likely would have to switch his approach. Because even if they go to that Jamaican talk and all that, man, Kevin Gates know how to do that. It would have to be, I don't even know, Drake would have to come with a brand new style we never heard before to actually get on the song with Gates. It's, like I say, even with the singing, the harmonizing, all of that stuff, Kevin Gates know how to do. And does it better than Drake. So you gotta really think, what song can they come out with? Like what song? Like it would, most likely it would have to be a Drake, Sexy Red, and Kevin Gates collab where, they make a club banger or something. Like it would have to be like a dance song. And even with that, Kevin Gates was still probably outshine him. So do I think Drake is scared to do a song with Gates and like turning it down? I don't know. Like I just feel like Kevin Gates would have got that Drake stimulus package back then. And there's a reason why it's not happening. There's a reason, like Kevin Gates said in a Vlad interview, that he was going to sign the Cash Money, but then Birdman gave him the game and told him, oh man, just grind yourself. Like, is that what Birdman really told Kevin Gates? Or was Birdman, like I say, he a businessman? Like, Gates, I can't have you on songs with, Drake, Wayne, and all my other, YMCMB, rappers, because you just gonna outshine them. You can't really have a Tyga and Kevin Gates song. Kevin Gates just too gangster, too raw, too intelligent to be on a song with people like Tyga. You might could do Nicki Minaj here and there. You can't do Drake. It's gonna expose him. We know Drake not like that. You could probably do some Wayne, but once people get a taste of Kevin Gates keeping up with Wayne, it's over. You can't do a Corey Gunn. You can't really do a Mac Main because he just gonna outshine him too much. And especially with the backing that Kevin Gates will get. And then at the same time, you gotta look like, can I market Kevin Gates around the world? Yes, you can market Kevin Gates around the world, but out of Drake and Kevin Gates, they probably just like, okay, how many hits? Who could give me the hits? Who could give me that radio play nonstop? Like, we can't be just talking about bricks and all the explicit stuff that Kevin Gates say. It's so raw, we can't market it to the wider public like that. So that's probably what Birdman was thinking. But if this a competition and we doing a versus battle, Drake would probably win the versus battle off of the popular songs that everybody gonna know. Everybody knows Kevin Gates songs too, but like I say, kind of like with the Jeezy and Gucci Mane, they had their verses. Jeezy smoked Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane got hits, but Jeezy just, he came with the man, he was able to paint a picture. Jeezy one of the best to do it. And I put Kevin Gates up there with like Jeezy. Kevin Gates probably would wipe Jeezy lyrically. It's just not gonna happen, bro. But y'all think of that. I think I gave y'all something to think about. You know, why in the world Drake and Kevin Gates don't have at least one song together? Y'all let me know in the comments.